Warning, the following audio transmission will forever change your outlook on society. You will no longer believe the narrative. You are about to wake up and see things for what they really are. News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. The website, www.jestersvoice.com. Go there, pick yourself up an Apocalyptic Peril t-shirt. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. I hope everybody is having a fantastic morning so far. I hope your Tuesday was good. Was not able to get out a fresh episode for you guys on Tuesday. My apologies. Just a lot going on. And just extremely exhausted. Today is the first day I think I'm actually going to be able to do some things for myself and the time frames that I want to do them. Like, I don't have to get up early and go somewhere. I don't have to run for this or run for that or go to work. I'm able to wake up. I still got shit to do, but I can do it on more of my own terms. So it'll be more of a relaxed day today. Yeah. Yesterday, finished up and tested for a class I was taking. Got that done, got that knocked out, which is good. Got a few more to go for the current certification I'm trying to accomplish. Did a lot of running around yesterday, like last minute things before our trip overseas. Just tried to get a bunch of things done, you know. And it comes down, you know, somebody asked me not too long ago, like, you didn't start packing yet. And it's like, no, I don't need to start packing way in advance. You take about a week's worth of clothes with you. You wash them while you're gone. You know, just because you're leaving for a month doesn't mean you need a month's worth of supplies. So, like, I mean, think about it. Like, in your house right now, you know, you've got a handful of clothes you rotate out, right? Like, you might wear the same shirt 2-3 times a month, 4 times a month, right? That breaks down to that shirt's good for 1 week, okay? Like, that's what it breaks down to. So I don't usually start packing until like 2 to 3 days before we leave. It's usually when I start that way. Like, you know, I'm putting laundry in there. It's coming out of the washing machine. I'm doing my final loads of laundry before I leave. I'm able to see anything that's missing right there in the moment, add it to a list, go get it if I need it. If it's something I can live without, I won't go get it. If it's something I can pick up when I'm gone overseas, I'll grab it there. And I've become so accustomed to just surviving over there when I'm gone. Like, I need very few things. I need 2 pairs of swim shorts because I'm at the beach all the time, right? I need 2 dedicated beach shirts that can get covered in salt water and sweat and deodorant that I could rotate out every other day. And that's how that goes, right? You come back to the house and your nasty, sweaty, salt water covered clothes, take them off, clean them, let them dry the next day, throw on a fresh one, wear that one. When you get back, same rules apply, and then you just rotate, okay? As far as things go, you're in shorts most of the time when you're there, 2-3 pairs of shorts, you're good to go. Maybe about 4 or 5, 6 shirts, good to go. You're in sandals more than you are shoes, so you don't need more than about 4 pairs of socks. That's simple. When it comes to things like soap, shampoo, toothpaste, I assume just get it when I'm there. I like what they have better there anyway, so I'll just get it when I'm there. When it comes to medications and random things, I mean, I take the essentials of what I'd carry in my med bag, right? That's what I take with me. And, you know, sometimes things get added in there if there's something that's unforeseen. You know, like maybe we stop by a pharmacy and grab something extra while we're there and then it gets added in, right? So not that crucial. But everything you do pack for this trip, it's always these little last minute things, like last minute detail type things, like pulling the phone chargers out of the wall and placing them in your bag before you leave the house, right? Things like that, like the little incidental things, like the phone stands and chargers and like the Bluetooth accessories and the chargers for those and the smartwatch and its charger and the sunglasses and, you know, like just the stuff you're using on the daily basis is the last thing to go in the bag. So it's not really a situation where you pack a month in advance for a month-long trip. So I will probably begin my packing journey on Friday evening, sticking the larger, bulkier items in there that I know that I have, trying to compress some things that I have make them maybe smaller and more condensed, and kind of just roll on. The interesting thing about this trip, though, is we are stopping in Scotland and Ireland on the way over this year. And these are two countries I've never been to. So I really don't know what to expect going over there. I'm expecting cooler weather, so I don't ever take jeans with me or a sweater with me when I'm traveling over that way. Like, I just don't, right? This instance, I am, simply for the fact that it's cooler weather there, and it's probably going to get chilly in the evenings and the early mornings, and it's probably going to be nice to have jeans and a sweater. So we'll go ahead, we'll take those with us. But I think everybody has their own way they like to travel, and mine's just kind of my way. Anyway, we'll be right back after these messages.
Can't get enough of Jester Dooms? Check out his other show, It's Doomsday Podcast, available on all podcast platforms. That's It's Doomsday Podcast.
Back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. God, I hate being right all the time. So in an episode that we did a few days ago, I believe it was the last week episode, I had mentioned that it was so odd that we haven't heard anything about certain topics. Do you remember what they were? Do you remember? No? Okay, well, I had brought up ICE, and wouldn't you know it, we've had an anti-ICE extremist arrest at an NY federal building. If you haven't seen this, it's very interesting. And it goes back to, it just goes back to what I was saying. It was like, it gets quiet in the media. You don't hear certain things, you don't see certain things, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's back in the media. And you really have to ask yourself if this is not just a way to keep ratings up, if it's not a way to keep headlines up. So there's a method to this, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's very simplistic. You come out with a shock and awe story. Okay, that sucks in your audience. Okay, it reels them in. They're hooked. Oh my God. And you have all these big explosive facts, or what you claim might be facts, or even big scary assumptions about what's going on to keep that viewer engaged. But you never give all the pieces of the pie out right away. You want to keep them coming back, keep them waiting through that commercial break, keep them waiting while that ad's running on their radio, keep them waiting for all the information. And then once the story is 100% exhausted and they're watching the ratings go down, they drop it. Never coming to a conclusion, never coming to an outcome, never coming to anything. They just drop it. And, I experienced this doing It's Doomsday Podcast. So we were doing It's Doomsday Podcast, and then COVID hit. We're in the lockdowns. There's COVID trackers online. And for a while, at the start of every show, we would release the new numbers of people infected versus the death toll and estimated survivor count from the virus. And we did this for a long time. And it got to the point where the numbers became so saturated, it was just getting to the point where it was hard to decipher. Like, it was very difficult to get a handle on what was actually happening at that point, because we noticed like numbers are being inflated, things aren't adding up, they're not properly reporting who's gotten over COVID, and then we're not able to decipher who died that hadn't been vaccinated versus who was vaccinated. Like, there was a lot, and it got to the point where it just didn't seem like it was worth covering anymore. So we dropped it. It wasn't a hot topic as much anymore. It just wasn't anything. It wasn't big anymore. So we dropped it. Okay. And that's what these big major news media outlets do. When it's not getting the same effect anymore, they lose it. It goes away until something big hits, and then they draw it back in. They drum it back up with something, right? And I have a whole article here about what happened at the New York building, but the fucking article will not open for me for whatever reason. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I was going to read the whole article for you guys, but it will not open. Maybe it was taken down. I don't know. It keeps redirecting me to the homepage of the website, so your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, but that's what happens. Okay, so just remember, when you're watching the news and you're like, holy shit, this is insane. Remember, that's insane right then in that moment. In 2 weeks, it's going to be old news. In a month, people are going to forget that it even happened. And they're going to be on to the next, holy shit, I can't believe this is happening thing. It's amazing, this system that we've created. And it's amazing how easy it is to actually break free of this system. So when you come to this very realistic concept of you wake up, you get filled in on the day of what's going on in your world. They're pumping you this information through your TV, your radio, your phone, your computer, in all facets. All facets. Breaking news on the TV, breaking news on the radio, text message update, your news app is sending you stuff. The news website sent you an email. You know, you scroll left on your phone and boom, latest news stories are hitting. You open Google, you see what's trending. Like it's everywhere. You cannot escape the amount of information that's coming your way. It's absolutely wild. And it's so much to keep up with, and it's so much to process. And I've always admired people who always seem to know what's going on in the world. And I'm like, fucking how? How do you sit in front of a TV all day watching the news? How? Do you have a really good website that just tells you the big key points that you need to know? Do you have, like, instead of a book club, do you have like a news club where you guys like all watch the morning news on different channels, then have like a fucking party line phone call and or all get together on Skype or some shit and talk to each other about what you saw in the news that day, and you do that every day? Like, I don't understand how people keep up with it all. It's just it's overwhelming. Now, a lot of my life in my younger years, I didn't really give a shit what was going on. I didn't care about politics. I didn't care what was happening. If there was some big crazy news thing and people were talking about it at work or whatever, that's how I got my information. You know, that's just, I didn't care to follow this shit. I didn't care. And then I got into talk radio and it was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, I'm driving down the road, I'm getting all this information. This is fantastic. But that's what I mean when I say that it's coming at you from every format, and it's by design. Talk radio works for me. Okay. Now, obviously, like I do a podcast, you guys are listening to me right now as you're driving down the road in your car. So it's the same damn thing pretty much. And that was the thing that got me. I can't sit in front of a TV and watch the news. I can't do it. I'm not going to sit there and read the paper to find out what's going on in the world. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and open every email that's sent to me from the Epic Times. I don't do that. I don't scroll left on my phone to go over to the news feed and see what's happening in the world that day. I don't. I'm not that guy. But if something catches me and it piques my interest, you bet your ass I'm reading everything I can about it. I'm trying to find out everything. Now, what I was referencing with the talk radio thing is there is an outlet for everybody. They will find you somehow, some way. They'll find a way to get you this information because it sucks you in. And as long as there's bigger, badder problems in the world, your little things that you have going on day to day are very insignificant. And I'll explain to you what I mean right after this break.
Jester from It's Doomsday Podcast and the Doom Daily Show here. Do you ever find yourself overloaded with way too much information? Too many logins, too many passwords, too many websites for stuff you like? Yeah, I'm the same way. You don't have to worry about that with the Doom Daily Show and It's Doomsday Podcast. Let's make it simple. Just visit linktree.com/JesterDooms. Add it to your bookmarks. That way, when you need to find the right information, it's right there, under a tap of your finger or a click of your mouse. Go to linktree.com/JesterDooms. Get it, got it, done. Remember, no one has all the answers, but this will provide you with a place to start. linktree.com/JesterDooms. And now, on with the conversation. And here's Jester.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I'm your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media @Jester Dooms. The website, www.jestersvoice.com. Go there, buy yourself an Apocalyptic Apparel t-shirt. We greatly appreciate it. Anyway. So your insignificant problems in life, things that you think are a big deal that aren't, okay? So everybody is playing the character in their own movie. Okay, you are. All right. Now, some people get a little excessive with this, and they think that their movie or their story matters more than others does, and they go balls to the wall crazy. And these are the ones that are overly dramatic and the ones that are always trying to suck people into their world. Like, they want another character to play a part in their little movie they got going on. But the fact of the matter is nobody's watching that movie but you. You're the only one. Now, in order to dumb your problems down, the governments around the world must create big-ass problems. So your little shit is insignificant. So here's a reality. Say that we're going to throw out a random hypothetical situation. I'm going to set this up, okay? Grandma lives down a rural country road. She's lived there forever. Down this country road, there's a farm. Farm's been in the family for generations. It's a 150-acre farm. Grandma's the only one there. She lives there by herself. Grandma still has some chickens, a couple cats, a dog or two. Cattle's gone, hogs are gone, goats are gone, horses are gone, everything else is gone. She just kind of does her thing with the chickens and, has somebody come out and cut the grass every once in a while. And she's living her life out there on the farm. Now, you, grandson, granddaughter, have noticed, going out to grandma's house once a week to visit, that there's low-hanging power lines because there are trees that are growing over these lines, and they're weighing the lines down. And you notice this, and you're calling the power company, you're calling the county, you're making all the phone calls you can to get these lines cut off get these trees cut off these lines before something bad happens. Now, this is such a rural area that nobody gives a shit, so they're not prioritizing this. Okay? It's not a thing. Now, you've called, you've exhausted all resources, nothing's getting done about this. You can't hire a tree company yourself to do it because you can't afford it. Grandma can't afford it. So you keep poking the bear, but you're not getting anywhere. Well, 6 months go by. Grandma's still out there on the farm. Okay? One of these lines finally fucking snaps in the middle of the night, starts a fire. Grandma has a cell phone, calls you, says, call 911, there's a fire. I need you to come out here and come get me. You try to go out there, you can't get to grandma's house because there's down lines. There's fire. You can't get down the road. Grandma's trapped. The sad ending of the story, grandma doesn't make it out. Firefighters aren't going to fight down lines that are live. Certain protocols in certain areas, they have to wait till those lines are verified dead by the power company. So grandma is stuck. Grandma doesn't make it out. Now, this is a big problem for you. You've called for months. You just lost the family farm. You just lost grandma. The whole shit shebang has happened. But nobody in this country gives a rat's ass. Nobody cares. Okay? Some old lady died on a farm. That's unfortunate. That happens all the time. Yeah, but the county and the power company, and they weren't maintaining the lines. There was a problem that caused this to happen. Well, it's a big company. They're busy. They have a lot of stuff to do. They can't be everywhere and get everything done all the time. Sometimes things just happen. Now, ipso facto, if that story was on CNN, Fox, headline, fucking, investigative interviews, all this shit, the entire fucking country is going to start giving a shit because they're told to. Because that's the hot button issue. How are we letting our elderly die at the hands of poor utility companies? These companies should be held accountable as you're broadcasting your news story over their electricity. You're right. They should be held accountable. Keep paying your bill to get this story out there. Do you see what I'm saying? In your movie, this is huge. This is a huge, huge deal. But to the rest of the world, it is not until it's on that screen, until the media tells them you need to care about this. Now, we all have little problems that we're working through daily. You're fighting with the spouse. The kids are pissing you off. The mechanic screwed you out of another $500 and he's fucking crooked and you can't do shit about it. Your neighbor keeps letting his dog shit in your lawn and you can't fucking do anything about that. You've got maybe trespassers coming onto your property. Your car gets broken into every other month and they won't clean up crime in your fucking neighborhood. You got a bum that harasses you at the bus stop every day. Whatever the case may be, these problems do suck, but they are shadowed by this mass media. When you start to look back through history and people that actually did things with their lives and, people that we considered great, people that went down in history for being good or bad, I mean, you do have some major big role players in there that have done a lot of crazy shit, but the reality is that back then, before the media, like you really, really had to be, you really had to do something big and huge to get recognized, to make the paper and have that go from this city's paper to this city's paper, or even go nationwide. It had to be something huge, right? But I also want you to think about something. We still cover wars and tragedy just like we did back then because it's a winning business model. It fucking works. It makes sales. It sucks in viewers. People buy subscriptions. They do. Okay. Now, the difference is from then till now is we have streamlined this information. We're able to live stream what's going on. Before, you paid for your weekly paper and boom, you got the information once a week, right? So now they just beam all that information right into your fucking home and charge you so much more than what it used to cost. I mean, remember paying for a newspaper subscription for the older listeners of the show? And do you remember like not signing up for the Sunday edition because it costs so much more? And then if you really wanted the Sunday paper, you'd go to a newsstand, you'd pay, and it has gone up over the years. Back in the day, it was like 50 cents and it went up to $1. It was like $1.50. I don't know what it is now. I don't even know if most places still do a Sunday paper. But anyway, the reality is, it's not this couple dollar a week thing anymore. There's all these different subscriptions on your phones, on your TV, like all these things to get all the information you want. And we've bought this, ladies and gentlemen. We've bought this hook, line, and sinker. Now, in the beginning of this episode, I told you it was very easy to disconnect from this. All right. Now, despite what you may think, you do not need to have an internet connection in your home. You don't need it. You don't need to have a TV in your home. You don't. You don't need to have a smartphone. They still sell basic ass flip phones. They still exist. You can buy them new. And you could start to disconnect. Now, will anybody do that? Probably not. We all want to be connected. Now, the reality is, how do you stay connected, but how do you avoid what they're doing, the brainwashing that's happening, this constant flow of intrusive information? How do you get away from that? That's the ticket. Like that's the question. How do you stay connected but disconnect from the brainwashing? Well, one surefire way to do it is to listen to the Doom Daily Show, because we cut through all the bullshit. Another way to do this is to avoid all these news media outlet sites. Don't sign up for these news feeds. And you know what's really funny? When I've noticed this, like signing up like with different emails or making new Google accounts or whatever, on occasion it asks me, about signing up for like political news or information, or do you want, what would you like in your news feed? Sports? Okay, what? Football, hockey, basketball, what sport? College ball? What do you want? Politics. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see that? Right? So they are catering this experience to keep you engaged. It's amazing. Go work your job that doesn't pay enough. Buy the shit you can't afford. Let us keep brainwashing you so your problems that you have that are big to you seem very insignificant and small. Because remember, you called the power company, the county, the DOT, everybody for 6 months straight, and they failed grandma on the farm. That's not a big deal until they make it a big deal. Remember that. Now, I have watched people try to bring shit to the major news media outlets and try and fail and try and fail. If they don't want it, they're not going to take it. If it won't get them ratings, they're not going to take it. Grandma on the farm might get them some ratings, so they may take that. But you see, got one more shining star example of this, and then we're getting out of here. Whenever we have a new mass shooting in this country, we always cover the happening of the events on every major news media outlet, every single major talk radio outlet, the regular FM radio. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere you fucking look. But when do you ever see coverage of the trial? When? I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because you will see it if you go out and you seek it out. But when do you see it pop back up like breaking news, this is happening? You don't. But didn't we see Johnny Depp and Amber Heard a lot during their trial? There you go. All right. Everybody that came in today, if you have not done so yet, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the show. We'll be back here for another exciting episode tomorrow of the Doom Daily Show. Producer Scooter, sir, if you would, hit that button.
News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.